Let's talk about this drive in the fourth quarter because it really was a perfect microcosm of what's wrong with Kyle Shanahan right now. So they're down 14. They get the ball with more than 10 minutes left, and they call it a drive as if they're up by 14. I mean, just a whole lot of, well, first, no hurry-up offense. Huddling, motions, like as slow as methodical as could be. They call one downfield throw. They hit it, but it's called back because of holding, and they never go downfield again. It was embarrassing to see a team that's been together this long with veterans and a coach who's supposed to be great not have any feel for like situational football. I think everyone was scratching their head like, what the hell is going on? What was your reaction to that?
There were two things. One of the announcers on TV said, boy, this is taking a long time, this drive. The announcer said it, and I tweeted, are they trying to kill the clock for Atlanta? Iggy, was that the first one was an 8-minute drive?
They got no points, 8-minute drive.
It got no
and
points.
They get right.
But even Iggy, even if they had gotten points, they still weren't in a position. They had taken too much time.
That's right. Because real quick, he was asked about it after the game, and he said, look, I knew we were going to get the ball twice, so I didn't feel like I needed to go hurry up.
What?
Why did you think you were going to get the ball twice? Seriously. Even if you scored a touchdown there, the Falcons would have got the ball back with 2 minutes left. The Niners hadn't forced many 3-and-outs in that game. I mean, the Falcons, even if they hadn't scored, were having very long drives where they were running the ball successfully and picking up first downs. Why did you think you were going to get a 3-and-out? Why? You couldn't stop the zone read all day. I mean, you really couldn't stop them. And your defense was exhausted and decimated. So I just don't understand his logic. To me, it almost felt like, you know what? It's early in the season. We're beat up. Let's just take the loss. It almost felt like that. Like, you're not going to hurry up at all? So you just want to get 21 points and say we weren't awful on offense? That's terrible.
Anyway, it wasn't logic. It was rationalization. Rationalization. Who knows? Iggy.
But it was a bad look.
What he did in the fourth quarter was one of the worst coaching sequences I've ever witnessed in my life.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. And again, it was, I know we're not good at going hurry up. So let's not do it. What we do is take our time, make a bunch of substitutions, do a bunch of pre-snap motions and play. Okay, well, you can't do that down 14 in the fourth quarter. And that's why you're 0-26 when you're down more than 4 in the fourth quarter. You can't play offense like that anymore. And it's like I guess he's saying is, okay, we could play offense the way we play and be decent, or we could hurry up and be awful. Well, it's your fault that your hurry up offense is awful.
Yeah.
It's your fault. You got to practice that stuff. You should be in practice every week saying, okay, 8 minutes left, down 10, 2nd and 7 that's what the Patriots do. Just straight up situational football practice.
Bill did all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to win a Super Bowl just practicing your scheme on 1st and 10 every day. Okay, what do we do at the end of the half? What do we do at the end of the fourth quarter in this situation? The Niners are terrible at that from the head coach down.
Yes, and the head coach is the issue.
The head coach is the issue. He does a lot of good things. I mean, he puts together a very good coaching staff. But look at all the underlings he's had that are now head coaches who are better than him. Sean McVay has a Super Bowl ring. LaFleur in Green Bay has a better record than him. Robert Saleh has a better record than him right now this season in New York. And McDaniel was doing really well until Tua got hurt. So right now, it's like D'Amico could be the next one. What if he gets a head coaching job next year? How do you feel about that? Losing him? I don't know. Kyle has a lot of pressure right now. Score more than 18 points, please.
Let me ask you a question. Up until a few weeks ago, he was generally perceived as an offensive genius. Yes. I'm not exaggerating.
Right.
Is he still? I don't think he is. I think the national media still thinks this is the second Bill Walsh.
I agree. I think pretty much I took a plane back yesterday. I was watching a lot of ESPN. No one talked about the 49ers losing. When they win, everyone says they're a Super Bowl contender and Kyle's the greatest. When they lose, they just talk about like the Giants and the Cowboys all day like it didn't happen. They just give them a pass. What the hell was this? They should have been talking about that drive ad nauseum on national television shows, but it's like it didn't happen.
Iggy, if I had been still, working and I had been at that game with you and I were writing a column, I would have gone after Kyle after that game.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't see anybody do it.
No.
I didn't see, it was injuries and it's early in the season and blah, 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 blah. My lead sentence would have been, the clothes are off. The Emperor's
Yes!
Clothes. Yeah.
That's exactly where the 49ers are at right now. The Emperor's clothes are off. The supposed offensive genius isn't even an offensive genius. He's an offensive liability. And so now Jed York has to really, really think he has to be very careful right now because he's probably, if he keeps Kyle Shanahan again this year, there's a high probability that DeMeco Ryans could become a head coach somewhere next year. Are you cool with that? Look at what Robert Saleh's doing right now. Do you want to lose Ryans if Shanahan isn't the answer? Does Sean Payton want to coach this team? There are all kinds of questions you could ask. Jed York has to figure it out because right now what Kyle's doing, he's never going to win a Super Bowl with these problems. He's never going to win a Super Bowl with these problems, no matter how good his team is, who his quarterback is.
I love it. I love what you're saying. So, the override, because we have other topics, but we're positing this morning that the overriding issue is not injuries. It's not
the quarterback.
Not the quarterback.
Not the defense.
Not the defense. It's the head coach. So this is our working hypothesis today, and you got to hear that.
Yeah.
And what's more, I got, please bear with me, Iggy. I got a couple of other things to say. I read the coverage, national and local. You're the only person I know who's pointing the finger at Kyle, and you're dead on. And I don't know why other people aren't doing it, but they got to take the blinders off.
It's not just Kyle, the head coach. It's Kyle, the offensive coordinator, too. His system is failing for the first time. His system is failing, and we don't give the defensive coaches any credit. Like, do you know who the defensive coordinator was for Atlanta? A guy named Dean Pease. He's really good. He's doing his homework. He's seeing how other people are shutting down Kyle. People are prepared. Kyle needs to get one step ahead of the competition because he isn't anymore. He's not.
I want to say another thing. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, they lost." You know, they lost to Atlanta, Iggy.
Yes.
Atlanta is rebuilding. Atlanta is in cap hell.
Yes.
And I got tweets saying, "Actually, Lowell, you're not fair. Atlanta's a pretty good team. They weren't a pretty good team 4 or 5 days ago. All of a sudden, now they're a good team."
No, you know what they are? They're a well-coached team.
I love it, Iggy. I love it.
They're not a talented team, but they're a well-coached team. The Niners are a talented team and a poorly coached team. There's no way they should be 3-3. No way they should be in 3-3. They have Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, two of the best wide receivers in the league, in their prime, and they can't score in the second half. It's not Jimmy's fault.
And Iggy, they lost to Chicago, and they lost to Denver, and they lost to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, those are shocking losses.
I lost to Atlanta by 14 points. 14. Their offense scored 14 points and gave away 7.